Alright guys, Dokkan time again, and as a new thing that I want to try to do is I want to start doing suggestions or requests for certain content in the game people are having issues with, and things that I haven't obviously made videos about yet. Obviously, I have not made a video on the representatives of Universe 7 Extreme Super Battle Road. This is probably one of those things in the game that is just insanely difficult for the general player base. This is one of those extreme super. This is one of the ESBRs that I had the hugest trouble with, and I mean that sincerely. Like, I hated it. I despised it. I loathed it. I was on it for weeks. And I barely got it done. I barely got it done. And if you're looking at it, it doesn't seem like it'd be difficult. There's only 3 enemies per stage. There's only 3 stages. You got a lot of different leaders that you can choose from. The typings are like not numerous. There's only 3 of them each one. So it doesn't seem like it'd be difficult, but the thing is that each of them attack so many times in the stage. Each of them hit like a bloody truck. And the Universe 7 category is just so bad. I mean, if we want to get real here, we have the 177 lead of Frieza and Goku. We have then the 6th anniversary units, Goku and Vegeta. And that's pretty much it. I mean, obviously you're running Goku. You're pretty much running Goku as a leader. And that's the other thing, is like, this is a very tiny category. Like, there's not much in here. And we haven't gotten almost any support for it whatsoever. It's such a large period of time. And in all honesty, if you haven't been summoning for these units over the years, you're not going to have any units to do it with. Like, it's just not doable. There's not really any room for errors. And the free-to-play side of it is just so disturbingly tiny and painful that it makes it questionable what they were thinking. This is one of the ESBRs I would say, honestly, you don't have a choice. You have to summon for units. You have to have a good box. I mean, look at some of these posts in Reddit from just back then. You want to know the definition of insanity? It's reps of Universe 7 ESBR. Like, what the F is this stage? I've beaten the stage. I don't need it anymore. But expect Dodge Fest. Barely made it out alive. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty bad. But most of the stage runs you're gonna see are all heavy item forced into there. You're gonna Google it on YouTube, and you're gonna see DATRUTH, and you're gonna see Mass NINGEN, you're gonna see JPHANTA. You're gonna see a couple of them, and then see some Super Battle Roads, and you're gonna realize there's not a lot of no items or even runs of reps of Universe 7. There's not much. There's really not. Like, let me try to redo this here. Universe 7 Extreme Super Battle Road. See if we get a different result. Got one with Toon Rami. Okay, Toon Rami's got one. I don't want to sit there and play the video because I don't want to get in trouble. But the point is there's not a huge amount of runs on here that you're really gonna see. You'll see definitely a couple, but most of them are not no items. Now, I'm not gonna play the video, but thanks to JPHANTA, you do get to realize that there is a possibility that you could very well do this with a free-to-play team. This is a free-to-play team that he managed to pull off. He's got Master Roshi as his lead. He's using the physical UI Omen Goku. He's got a true UR version of the free-to-play LR Master Roshi. He's got the Master Roshi and TN. He's got this freaking AGL 18. Oh my gosh. He's got the freaking 6-year anniversary free-to-play Master Ultra Instinct Goku, and he brought a friend Master Ultra Instinct LR AGL Goku. The amount of the near escapes in that were crazy. And then you can go look at the truths. Now, the truths isn't Nobody takes this seriously. He ran a reps of Universe 7 Goku Frieza lead. He has a freaking Link level 10 rainbowed true UR of the LR AGL Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku. And then he's got all rainbows for the rest of them. He's got his own Master Ultra Instinct. He's got the Omen STR LR. He's got the Intelligence UI. I mean, and he at the end of this, he just says, "Oh, this was pretty easy." I'm like, no, it's not. It's not easy. You got lucky with all of your units, except for one of them, being mashed in with dodge, and you got really lucky. It's an RNG fest. And then you got the middle ground with the Mass Ningen over here. I had a very similar team, mostly rainbow units. I mean, his aren't all. I mean, both of his UIs are not they're not rainbowed, and then he's got he's got the free-to-play Roshi, he's got the Skinny Boo, which is funny because he's not even actually in the Tournament of Power. And then you have the Intelligence Omen Goku, and then you have the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. You can look at all of these, and they're all going to be the same thing. They're all going to tell you the same thing. RNG and pray. That's basically the gist of it, is just praying and RNGesus. That's literally all it is. Now, what I have on here is my run that I did with my team. This is a completely different run. It's not a no item run. Mind you, I didn't have to use all of my items, but I did have to use a support memory. I did have to use Ghost Ushers. I had to use double Whis. I had to heal. I got really lucky with my dodges. Almost all of my units are rainbowed except for my actual UI Goku, and then of course this Frieza. This Frieza is actually a big key that I personally used to seal the enemy constantly. It took me almost 20 minutes to get through this. I don't know if I can do the run again. I don't know if I can do a no item run. I really have no idea if I can do the no item run. There are newer items these days that maybe you could possibly potentially utilize. There is only 3 stages. There's only 3. So if you can have decked out enough units to set yourself up for 2 turns, you can double Whis, you can double Icarus, and if you can, as long as you can annihilate at least the 2 out of 3 of the units within those 2 turns, you can probably just mow them down, except for the last stage. The last stage is where things get really difficult, and you'll probably have to utilize your last 2 item slots to easily get through it. There is this new guide robo from when our worldwide download celebration for Cooler came around, and he delays a single enemy's attack, and he lowers that enemy's attack by 66%. Now, it's not ideal because it's only 1, but it is something you could use for, say, those first 2 runs that you double Whis or double Icarus, and if there's only 1 of them left, and you're really that scared, you can definitely utilize it. Now, there's also the fact that you can take advantage of Chi-Chi. Now, just keep in mind, I don't think you can use this literally back-to-back turns. You might be able to, but something's making me say that you can't. And even if you do, they can still do a lot of damage to you if if one of your weaker units is actually getting hit. So what other units do we have, or what other items can we really utilize on this stage? I mean, there's not very much. You can use Android 8 to get that extra defense, and of course, recovering 70% of your HP and 50% defense. That really does help quite a bit. You can also use a Princess Snake. It's only for 1 turn, but you recover half your health, and then you reduce damage by 30%. As far as that goes, though, at least on global, we're sitting very poorly. I mean, there's not much else that you can do. You could definitely use a Monster Carrot. Although, you're probably not going to get it's going to really depend on just how the key spheres land. You could use it, and the first unit in the slot's going to get lots of defense, and they'll probably be able to live through a good portion of stuff. And whatever you get out of the other remaining orbs that fall afterwards, you know, you can utilize the effects of it on the other units. But that is also an option that you could utilize the Monster Rabbit. Mind you, these are not really obtainable anymore. So if you do use them, if you have them from January is when I believe they came out, you will probably not be able to get any more of these until Global's shop updates, just like JP's did right now, where it's the Bulma event has them dropping, I believe so. There's also, let's see here, no. There's also the mouse. The mouse could be useful. Attack and defense by 40%. That's a lot of attack to be reduced, and you could do some decent damage. And it's for 2 turns. You can't stack it, but it could be useful. But otherwise, there's not very much else you could really use. It's very tricky. It's very, 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 very tricky. In my opinion, if you're using the Nurse Chi-Chi, you might as well utilize the Monster Rabbit. Or not the Monster Rabbit, but the Ghost Usher. I mean, there's really not any reason not to. The Ghost Usher is basically you're not going to get hit. The attack and defense minus 70-something%, you're basically not going to take almost any damage. Unless it's a super attack, and then you'll probably take a small chunk. But you'll live, is the least thing. This would be my suggestion of items to use for this stage. And the actual strategy I would suggest that you use. Now, as far as units go, man, units. The units, bro. Before we go over the units, let's go over the support memories. So the support memories, we've got the Zeno's welcome words. This is just attack and defense plus 10%. That extra defense helps out everything. The problem being is that, well, you got 2 runs to use it, and then you're basically out of support memory. As far as other ones to use, you probably saw on the completion that I had, Icarus is always a good choice. It just gives you a random defense plus 70%. It's just something that you can really throw in there. You can also utilize the Bulma. Bulma would be very good. Mind you that you make it to the 4th turn. So these units are so tanky and they deal so much damage that after you use the Icarus and the Whis on the 4th turn, you might be hurting on HP if you manage to survive on that 3rd turn afterwards and you still couldn't kill them. This could be a very clutch memory to use in this. The only issue is you gotta have a Pure Saiyan's category ally on the team, which isn't hard because, you know, you got Goku. So, I mean, you can definitely utilize that. But otherwise, I don't think there would really be too many other items you could utilize. There's really not too much. There really hasn't been anything else that has come out in recent years that could help you. I mean, you could definitely try the Goku family, as most of the units that you may or may not use will just be Omen Gokus. So that is also an option for you. We did just get this. What does this do? No. This is pointless. So, but yeah, there's a couple memories you could utilize. Now, as far as your leader goes, you do have the option of running a double reps of representatives of Universe 7 ally with this Goku and Frieza. You do get a little bit of 7% extra attack and defense and HP. It does help a little. The problem is this unit is actually very squishy, especially if you don't have them fully duped up and fully link leveled. You're gonna take a lot of damage. Attack and defense plus 77% is nothing. Anything below 120% is such minute amount of defense that it's hardly worth bringing the unit. I'm sorry. It's very disturbing. The only reason why they're still okay is because they have LR stats. Otherwise, I think even this unit has technically more. Let's see here. Attack and defense plus 20 at the start of each turn up to 80, plus an additional attack and defense plus 120%, and great chance of stunning attacked enemy when performing a super attack. This unit right here, this crappy little banner unit, I'm sorry, he's pretty crappy. It has probably more defense than the Go Frieza does. It's very sad. It's very sad. And as far as the units that you could utilize, I mean, this is it right here. There's nothing else. I'm only missing 1 reps of Universe 7 unit, and that is the Intelligence LR-17, where all of the everyone teams up to attack the giant enemy in the Tournament of Power, in the anime specifically. It's just a very lackluster amount of units. And of course, they decided to flop the 1 unit we could potentially use in this kind of event. He's a very crap. Do not bring this unit. He will get you killed. He will get you killed. He will just absolutely get you destroyed. It's entirely possible, though, that you could utilize him with this Kaioken Goku and burst down their health, like I said, with the double Icarus or double Whis. That is an option that you could utilize. They will link up very well. They will link up very well. What I would suggest in that case is that you actually rock him as a leader. He is a representative of Universe 7. The only issue is you have less HP, but it is a 170 lead. You could use your own leader and then, like say, bring your UI Goku and then bring those 2. And then bring a friend Kaioken Goku who can sit on the other rotation. But you have to get very lucky on the rotations happening. You have to get lucky when you start the ESBR. Now, obviously, this won't be anywhere near as hard for JP players. I bet there's a bunch of JP players that got the easy A for this guy, and they just decided to burst damage the crap out of this ESBR. I believe that 100%. And also on JP, you guys have the easy A for this unit, which he's just a living tank. He's exactly what people needed. So at the worst case scenario, if you cannot do the ESBR for reps of Universe 7, I would highly suggest waiting until the 8th anniversary and just waiting for the easy A's to drop for both of those 2 units, because it would help out a lot. This guy is still usable-ish. He's just going to take so much damage, it's hardly worth it. I mean, he's still supporting all the allies. He's reducing damage by 40%, but only when he's below 77% health. Otherwise, he does lower attack and defense, so that is a viable option. But it is not the best set of units. This is a very difficult ESBR, and I don't normally suggest anybody to go through this. In fact, I will attempt to do this burst damage combo here and see what happens. My issue is just gonna, I mean, that's all you can do. That's all you can do, is you can either burst damage it down, you can go full dodge build for all the units that you possibly can, or you can just whittle everything down with weaker units and use items. There's not really any in between. There's no way to no item this without dodging completely. There's no way. It's not possible. It's not doable. This is one of those times where you can't say skill check. No, it's not skill check. It's RNG. It's straight up 110% RNG. That's all that it is. There is no question about that. I cannot emphasize enough how much everything is RNG based into this. Let's see if we can do this. Just for the sake of the video, I'm making this video as a just as a prepping thing. Okay, so there's no friends that do it, but what's the special? Special is only half link levels. Well, let's see if we can do it. It would be a good learning experience. So most of these units in here are Goku family, or at least, no, I take that back. Only 3 of them are. Jeez. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into this. We're gonna double Whis, and we're gonna double Icarus, and we're going to just try to burst damage as much as possible. Let's see what happens when we go in there. Okay, let's see what happens. So it looks like we won't get Kaioken Goku until the next phase, which sucks, but there's nothing we can do about it. So, okay, so what we have to do, no choice, we have to either use a Ghost Usher, or we have to double Whis. That's just our only options. What I'm going to do is I'm going to Ghost Usher this first turn, and then I will utilize the double Whis. And we have to burst down. We have to burst down the. We have to burst down the at least one. It just has to happen. There is. I did not mean to do that. I accidentally clicked it. Well, let's see how it goes. Only got the one. Darn. I don't believe he lowers damage at all, so unfortunately, unless this Go Frieza actually decides to double super attack, we're not going to do very much damage. Yeah, they didn't. So we got one of them down. So that is something. That's pretty decent, actually. It probably would have benefited us more if we actually utilized the Super Saiyan Blue duo right there to lower attack, and then use the Go Frieza to actually burst the damage down. So this is one of those instances where you can actually attempt to just use the God Goku and hope that he dodges everything. You do have that option. Do I think it'll go well? No, I don't think it'll go well. In fact, we can test our luck right now. I'm completely fine with that. We'll test our luck and see what happens. You know, it's just a check. You know, this is not a skill check. This is not being overly prepared. This is just how the game is played. There is no. We'll use the Nurse Chi-Chi just in case. There is no skill here. This is not skill. This is all strategy and hope to RNGs that you don't die. Goku right there probably would have taken a 50k plus damage from a normal if I didn't use that Nurse Chi-Chi. He didn't dodge. I have my Goku, my UI Goku, completely spec'd for dodge. Completely. I have over a 70% chance technically to dodge. Still didn't dodge. You see the problem here. Dodge is the only way you will survive this stage, more than likely. And unfortunately, the Kaioken Goku did not kill. He did not kill. And we didn't even get an additional off with Vegeta right there. We were lucky and did not get super attacked. That is something. But right now, we're possibly dead. It's not even a joke. Yeah, because there's no way we'll survive this turn. There's no way. It's just not doable. And the thing is that the only way that we could have possibly survived is if we had double Whist. We'd still be in the same exact scenario right now, actually, with less damage on them if we had double Whist instead of utilized items for 2 turns. So, in the off chance that instead of using 2 items like that, you'll get into this circumstance. So this Goku actually should be getting damage mitigation based on what? How many attacks or how many hits he takes? No, he has. Let's see here. He does not get damage mitigation. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Pretty bad. But he has the most defense, and Kaioken Goku would just get absolutely demolished if we got attacked by the tech enemy. Absolutely demolished. So let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens. I'm very skeptical. I don't think we're going to live. I really don't. I have no expectations of us living this turn. It would be pure RNG that we would win right now. It'd be pure RNG. Let's see what happens. Look at that. 200k. 200k from normals. Yeah, we're dead. 200k. He took a 200k from type neutral and still took 200k from type advantage or type disadvantage. It's really bad. It's really bad. So let's try that one more time. We're going to try it one more time, but we're going to try and go full dodge. Yeah, that's right. We're going to go full dodge because that's what everybody thinks that you can do, is that you can full dodge your way out of this. That is the thought process that everybody thinks that you can do at this stage, is that you can full dodge. Unfortunately, that is not the case. And of course, none of the friend units have any dodge put into them. Of course not. This is not how you build UI Goku. I'm sorry, it's not. You have to put dodge into these units, or else you're just gonna die. You're just gonna die. It's very sad that these were not built correctly. It's really sad. I guess this one, because there's no other unit to use. So let's just go ahead and run into it. See what happens. But this is the only way you can actually beat this no item run. It has to be all full dodge. That is your only option. You have no other choice. In fact, I would argue to say that it doesn't even matter what unit you put in any slot, because if you don't dodge, you're dead. That's just kind of how it is. You're just dead. you're just straight up dead. There's no question about it. You're dead. If you get hit 3 times, and that is the ideal situation, and that is what has to happen every single turn. Dodges have to occur every single turn. No choice. A no item run is so painful on this stage. It is so painful. I honestly do not understand what the developers were thinking when they created this stage, because they had the category has no support. It had a bunch of units come out all at once in the span of like a couple months, and it was mostly just anniversary. Are we gonna dodge, or are we dead? Yeah, no, we're dead. So this is the problem here, is that you have to dodge. There is no choice here. If you do not dodge, you do not get to do a no item run. There is no choice to that. Now you can go ahead and attempt using this team that I used, but the likelihood is that you're still going to be praying to RNGesus that you'll be able to get through it. But like I will definitely, once again, I will do the same strategy that I suggested. Double Icarus, double Whis, and then you can try and use Ghost Ushers and Chi-Chis to survive. But you don't get the luxury of having you don't have the luxury of actually using any other units, really. You just don't. Let's try this again. We'll try it full power, basically. Full power. This is the best I can do personally. This is the maximum I can do. All of these units are either sealing, or they're stunning, or they're lowering attack. I mean, all of them are doing all of these things all at once. But there is no way to be able to do this stage without using items. There is no such thing as a no item run on this. It's either you get lucky with dodges, or you get complete bare RNG that you'll just get stupidly lucky. You have to be insanely lucky to get through this without using items. Now keep in mind, double Icarusing is still only 70%. So that means 30% of the damage that comes through will still come through. No questions asked. Like, that is going to happen no matter what. No questions asked. You will, no matter what, 30% damage is coming through. And Goku didn't dodge. 30% was still 50k damage on a super. We would have been dead right there. As you saw previously, we would have died from any super attack. Any super attack, you're dead. Without item usage, you're just dead. There is no unit on this team that can survive a super attack. There isn't. It's not doable. It's not an option. I'm keeping calm music right now because this stage is just it is such a frustrating run, and that is another suggestion and a tip for handling this stage is to make sure that you stay calm, man. Just stay calm, because you are just it is going to be a very frustrating time. It is a very frustrating Extreme Super Battle Road. It is very frustrating. I absolutely hate this stage. 30% damage, and I still took into the thousands right there. 30% damage came through. So we still have the 30% damage reduction. This is a combination you can attempt to use and get rid of. So if you want to, you can go ahead and use the Super Saiyan Duo to lower their attack, and then you can use... Unfortunately, we're not going to get the Ultra Super off, of course. But you can utilize the effect of the Universe 7 Go Frieza, where they do extra damage if the unit has lowered attack or defense. So once again, we're still having 30% damage leak through right now. But we have them locked down. They're both sealed right now. Though right now, Roshi's only going to possibly stun, I believe? Yeah. Okay, so we stunned one of them. So that's good. Now the real issue here is we have to lock down this guy again. There's no choice. You have to make sure that you prioritize and keep track of what each has happened to each of these units, because if you don't, you're going to get screwed. We don't have the damage reduction anymore, so we're just going to take damage purely right now. Frieza has 250k defense right now. Type neutral. Type neutral. Type neutral. Keep that in mind. We have type neutral right now, not type disadvantage. At least we have him sealed, so we're not going to get hit with a super, but we will get hit with a normal. Okay, there we go. We've also been lowering his attack the entire time. Ideally, he would have double supered. Now he's sealed as well. So this is pretty much in the bag after all of that damage mitigation. It is finally in the bag that we will win this first phase. After double Icarusing and locking down their attack with seals and stuns and lowering their attack, that is the best you can do. And you still have to be very well set up and still have some decent RNG. So now the issue that you're going to run into, obviously, is the fact that we have 2 more fights, and we don't have enough items to do double damage mitigation. It's not doable. So what do you do in this instance? Well, you only have like a couple choices here. You have to use a Ghost Usher. Now, personally, the last stage is very difficult, and they are very tanky. So what I want to do is I want to Ghost Usher right now, and try to set it up so I can lock seal all these enemies and just get it done. So we're gonna lock down her while doing some damage at the same time. We're gonna just do some damage to her, because Goku doesn't do anything else. And we have an STR, a Fizz, and a tech unit on the next phase. So, let's see here. Who would be safest? She's already going to be sealed because of Frieza. So it's either one of these two that need to be sealed off right now. I'm going to go with trying to do damage and seal her. I could try to stun, but the stun chance is very low. I think it's only a medium chance to stun for Master Roshi, and you have to get very lucky. I would rather go for the seal and hope for the best. Because at least I know I could potentially take some normals, but I know I can't take a super attack. So we got the seal. No additional super, unfortunately. So now, the issue we have right here is that the big girl right here is still unsealed, unlike the other two. So we're going to have to use another item. We're going to use the Nurse Chi-Chi. And we're going to have to hope for the best. Now, none of these units are good to sit in the first slot. It's just not a thing. It's just not a thing. None of them are going to sit pretty in the first slot. This Go Frieza has less than 100k defense. There's type disadvantage in this slot. And then we have this unit right here that's just, I don't know. It's just not going to go well. So this unit seals super attack. So what you should do is you should put that one in slot 1 and try to lock her down and hope she's not supering in that first slot. And you should be okay because you use the Chi-Chi. Now the issue is, which one of these do you keep on rotation? Ideally, you should keep them on rotation because they still have the attack lowering effect and they have more defense. But they're always lowering attack with their they're lowering attack and defense with their 12 and 18 key super. Whereas these guys also lower attack, which is great, and they also lower attack and 18 key, but they also take more damage. They don't even do more damage unless they 18 key, which I haven't been able to accomplish this entire time. So, this is the part where you pray to RN Jesus and hope for the best. Now, this is the hard part here, because you don't want Go Frieza to get hit no matter what, because they have such low freaking, they're so weak. They're so weak. Yeah, no, if we do this, we have a small, minute chance. Yep, exactly what I wanted to happen. Okay. So now we guaranteed will get rid of that middle sister. This is the game. This is the ESBR. You have to thoroughly plan out and pray to RN Jesus on every single one of these attacks. You have to. You have to use items. You have to. Now, by all means, I'm sure everybody that's coming into this video is just like, yeah, I want to see a no item run. Okay, go watch The Truth. Go watch JPHANTA's video. Go watch Master NINGEN. Because I'm not doing a no item run on this stage until it is actually a feasible thing. Because I'm not going to raise my blood pressure and freaking give myself a heart attack just for a no item run that's all pure RNG dodge. It's not worth it. It's not fun. It's not a fun thing to do. So, now, we're right back around this corner again. So we still have one unit sealed, but once again, we have an instance where they're not sealed. But the good thing is that Frieza builds up a little bit of defense. Now you have two options here. You can either put Goku in the slot 1, where he will potentially dodge. He will potentially dodge. Or he's going to get supered and you're going to die. Or you can take the normal, potentially live from the super because it's type advantage, and possibly seal him. So, I'm gonna potentially, hopefully, seal this person and not die from a super attack in the first slot. But it's entirely possible I'm gonna die right now. But this is how it is. This is how it is. It's unfortunate. I don't like it. It's not fun. But this is the game right here. This is what you have to do. You see that? 300k from a normal. there was no way to build up to that. There was no way to deal with that. We just lost all of our health. All of the health. It's all gone. We cannot take another hit like that. At least Goku's gonna get rid of her, which is fine. But the problem is that other unit needs to have her attack lowered so much that I'm not sure that we can live right now. Because they're a tech unit. They're a tech unit. We might die right here. Oh my gosh, he dodged. Once again, pure RNG. Pure RNG. Now, you have to once again question yourself, which units am I keeping on this rotation? The true question is, what are you going to do? Are you going to seal this freaking unit? Or are you going to try and stun them? Well, Master Roshi, what does he do? He has a great chance of stunning. So actually, he has a 70% chance to stun, which is great. Or you can also you can guaranteed seal her. You can guaranteed keep her sealed. Is she still sealed right now? She is still sealed. No matter what, she's probably dying. So let's just go ahead and try to go for the extra damage and stun her. Because there's no going off of it. Let's try to get the little bit of the heal in here. There we go. You have to overanalyze this stage. It is so painful. It is still RNG based. We got the kill in one hit. Because Master Roshi's freaking 18 key does so much damage. Okay. Now we're going into the worst part of this freaking stage. The hardest part. This is the hardest part. So, what we can do is we can do this. We can go ahead and decide to Ghost Usher first. Now we're gonna get a Dokkan attack off. Frieza's gonna attack all. I do not know if he can seal all of them. I'm actually trying to think about that for a second right now. He might be able to actually seal them all. Yeah, we're gonna try that. We're gonna try that. We're gonna see if we can seal all of the units right now, because that would be amazing. Okay, here we go. Now, ideally, you would get a Dokkan mode on this third phase, but it's entirely possible, depending on your setup. You might not be able to get a Dokkan mode on this phase. You might not be lucky enough to do this. This is RNG once again. Maybe you're lucky enough to get it on the second phase and wipe them out. But this is the best case scenario that what I'm looking at right now. So, no. The seal only did it on Jiren. It was not on the rest of them. But we did lower the attack, so this Go Freeze is going to do more damage to that Jiren. So, after doing a Dokkan mode attack, after doing more damage with Go Frieza, and lowering Jiren's attack and defense, we still only managed to almost get all of their health halfway down. We did manage to get rid of Dispo, though, luckily with Goku doing a double super. Now, right here, once again, you're faced with more choices of, do you want to, what do you want to do? You don't have any skips left. We can definitely utilize, we can actually lower their attack and defense by 70%, or we can double Whis. I'm going to say we're going to double Whis. Now, Jiren is sealed, so I'm not worried about Jiren. I'm worried about Toppo. Toppo is going to be a problem. He needs to be sealed. He needs to be sealed. I would prefer to actually stun Jiren, but we have the double Whis, so I'm not worried about it. What I'm gonna do actually is I'm going to focus on Toppo. This would be the one time I could potentially use this. The problem with using his ability is that I don't think it's worth the 70% attack for the minus 50% defense. If we lost 50% defense right now, we would be below 100k defense. That is not okay. It's just, it's not okay, guys. It's not okay. So, then we're going to use these guys, and we're just going to keep the stun and seal on that Jiren. Now, pray to RNGesus we don't get supered. Because even with the double Whis, Master Roshi is too weak to even take a super from type advantage. We got the stun off. Nice. I totally blanked in my head that the seal was on the 18 key. That was my dumb. Well, we got lucky. We got lucky with that stun. We also got the kill off with the Goku and Vegeta. Unfortunately, they didn't even double super at all. So they totally missed out on their passive and their hidden potential. And now we have him sealed and stunned, I believe. No, just sealed. I take that back. But we double lowered his attack. So, we still have the double Whis activated right now, which is good. And we're going to keep it up. He's still sealed. We're still not taking almost any damage. It's entirely possible we could get the kill with Go Frieza right now. It's possible. Not likely, but it's possible. Oh, we got the double lower on attack and defense. I'm telling y'all, this Frieza right here, this Angel Frieza, is key to winning this event. Especially if you're not going for a no item run. 7.8. We could get the kill right now. Not a no item run. But that was solid. That was a solid run. That was a solid run right there. We still didn't have to use all of our items, but we used virtually all of them. So, that is it, guys. That is the entire video. That is... I did not beat it in record time, but I did beat it with this team again. I had to use one extra item than I did before, but I methodically went through it and showed you the thought process of what you should do to go into this stage. You have your choice of doing what I did, strategically using your items to make sure you get through it, or you can mindlessly sit there and keep hitting restart with and hope you dodge enough. That's not everybody's the truth and has an all full rainbow dodge team. It's just not a thing. But I hope this helps somebody out with their runs, and I hope you all have a good day and a good night.